I think one of the worst things about a drummer sometimes is like really good drummers constantly want to show you how good they are, and it's like I was never into that, you know, like I was never into the guys who's doing like all these crazy triplets and like, you know, super complicated fills like that is just trampling all over a really good song.
Behind every hit song is an undeniable beat. So why doesn't anyone talk to the drummer about it? We're getting behind the kit with some of the best drummers in North America. This is Drummer to Drummer. Now, this is a different situation because I don't talk to many two-piece bands, but how much press would you do compared to the rest of the people in your band, one person?
It's pretty much 50-50. I'm in kind of a weird spot because I think I get a lot more attention and maybe I have a little bit more say than a drummer would normally in like a 4 or 5 piece band because there's only 2 of us. So it's very democratic in our band.
What got you started playing the drums?
I started like relatively late. I was 19 or something like that. And I mean, I think I was always like, you know, I was always kind of playing drums with like pencils and pens and, you know, kitchen cutlery and stuff like that. I think it was something that I enjoyed doing, but you know, the big reason I started playing drums was because I wanted to start playing in bands, and that seemed like the shortest route to do it. You know, I mean, and it is like everybody always needs a drummer. Drummers are like way harder to find than everybody plays guitar, you know, or thinks they play guitar.
You have to write a part that's simple enough that you can still drum. You can still sing over it, but then you also have to write a part that can lend itself to one guitar. Do you put pressure on yourself in the writing process, or you just kind of let it flow?
It doesn't feel like we have that many limitations based on being a 2-piece band. I think Brian, you know, finds it challenging sometimes to write guitar parts that he finds compelling and that can also kind of fill up the sound. So, you know, it does affect the way we write, certainly. But I think it's pretty freeing for me. You know, I mean, if there was a bassist in this band, you know, the vast majority of the time I'd just be kind of focused on locking in with whatever rhythm the bassist was playing, you know, and I think there would be a lot less freedom for me to do whatever I wanted, you know, and I think I really enjoy that. And I think, you know, as time goes on, I think we kind of figure out what works for us. And you know, I think when Brian has a guitar riff, I think we know how to like turn it into a Japandroids song pretty quickly.
You guys have started playing big festivals, sold out venues. You know, you play to thousands of people. Going back to that whole pressure thing and psychological side of drumming, you have to sing, you have to drum those songs every night. It's only 2 people. Do you ever kind of get in your own head when you have to play in front of so many people to be perfect, to do things like the record and that kind of stuff?
I think the big thing is fatigue. And when you tour as much as we do, and, you know, neither of us are old, but I'm not 25 anymore, you know, like, being able to like give people the show that you feel they kind of deserve, you know, that's some pressure for sure. And feeling like, you know, that need to like really, invest yourself in the show as much as humanly possible when you haven't slept for like a couple weeks and you're a little bit ragged and, you know, you've been flying across, you know, continents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that pressure kind of comes in at times. It's not really about being perfect, but about having the energy to give people the show they kind of deserve to see.
What's your recovery time like as you're getting older?
My big thing is that I'm obsessive about Tiger Balm.
Yeah.
Like before every show, I'm like the whole green room just stinks like Tiger Balm. And luckily everybody doesn't mind the smell of Tiger Balm, but I'm like putting it on my back, I'm putting it on my shoulders, I'm putting it on my wrists, and like just kind of like, you know, taking all the time I can to like warm up and get loose. You know, because that's the worst thing is if you just like, you're just drinking beer backstage and then you waltz on stage and play for 90 minutes, you know, as intensely as possible, you're going to like hurt yourself after a while. You know, you do that night after night.